All right, let's talk about one of the biggest changes to how we work, cybersecurity when your team is spread out everywhere. We're going to dig into how you can flip the script and turn what many see as a huge security risk, your employees, into your absolute best line of defense.
So to kick things off, let's start with a really important question. What do you think is the #1 cause of data breaches? Is it some genius hacker in a hoodie? A foreign government? Maybe some super complex bug in the software? What's your gut feeling?
Well, the answer, and it's not even close, is us. Yeah, people. A whopping 82% of data breaches involve some kind of human element. We're talking about someone clicking a bad link, or using a password that's way too simple, or just getting tricked. And look, this isn't about pointing fingers. It's about realizing where the real action is happening.
Okay, so if people are the main battleground, then the huge shift to remote work has completely changed the game. It's like the battlefield just got 1,000 times bigger and way more complicated. And the sheer scale of this is mind-boggling. By 2025, we're talking about over 32 million people working from home in the US alone. That old idea of a secure office, like a digital castle with a moat, that's completely gone. Now, every single home office, every coffee shop, that's a new doorway into the company's network. Just think about the difference for a second. Back in the office, IT had a ton of control, right? One network to keep an eye on, help was just to walk down the hall, and everyone used a company computer. But now, it's the Wild West. You've got hundreds of different home networks, employees are on their own, and let's be honest, we're all mixing our personal phones and laptops with work stuff. It's a security nightmare.
And what does that complexity cost? A lot. A whole lot.
According to a recent report from IBM, a data breach costs almost $1 million more when remote work is involved. That is a massive price to pay for this new way of working.
So this brings us to a really critical pivot point. If people are the main vulnerability, then logically, they have to be our best solution too. We need to stop focusing only on building smarter tech and start focusing on empowering smarter people.
And this is the central idea right here. Good security training is not just about ticking a box for the compliance department. It's about empowerment. It's about giving your team the skills and the confidence to spot an attack and shut it down before it ever gets started.
And this isn't just some nice theory. We've got the data to back it up. Companies that do regular security training see a staggering 72% drop in security incidents. That's not a tiny improvement. That is a complete game changer.
But before you can teach anyone anything, you have to have the right foundation in place. And that foundation, it's not a piece of software or a new policy. It's your company culture.
A real security-first culture, it has to start at the top. Leaders need to walk the walk. But just as important is creating a blameless environment. You want people to feel totally safe saying, "Hey, I think I clicked something I shouldn't have," without fearing they'll get in trouble. You have to make it super easy to ask for help, and you should celebrate people when they do the right thing. That's the kind of environment where training actually works. Okay, so you've built that foundation of trust. Now what do you actually teach people? What are the absolute must-have skills that every single remote employee needs? A really solid training program is going to hit these 5 key areas. Number 1, you have to get good at spotting phishing attacks. It's still the most common way hackers get in. Then, you need strong passwords and multi-factor authentication, which are like the deadbolts on your digital life. After that, it's all about safe habits for your home Wi-Fi and your devices, and finally, knowing how to handle sensitive data properly.
And I really want to double-click on MFA for a second. Seriously, if you do one thing, just one thing, to make yourself safer online, do this. Turning on that extra code you get on your phone, it stops over 99% of automated attacks in their tracks. Even if a bad guy steals your password, they still can't get in. It's just incredibly effective.
Of course, having the world's best training content doesn't mean a thing if everyone forgets it a week later. I mean, we've all sat through those boring click-through-the-slides trainings, right? How you teach is just as critical as what you teach. And here's why. Look at these numbers. When we just sit and listen to a lecture, we only remember, at best, about 30% of it. But when we actually do something, when the learning is interactive with simulations or quizzes, our retention goes through the roof. We learn by doing. It's as simple as that. And it can't be a one-and-done event. Security isn't something you learn once. It's a skill you have to keep sharp. So a great program is a cycle. You start with a big annual training. Then you test those skills with a fake phishing email.
You reinforce ideas with short, bite-sized lessons, and you wrap up the year with a refresher. It's a constant process.
And the results when you do this? They're unbelievable. Companies that really commit to this continuous, engaging approach can cut down successful phishing attacks by 80 to 85% in the very first year. They basically eliminate one of their biggest risks. All right, last piece of the puzzle. You've given your team the knowledge. Now you have to give them the right tools and support to actually put that knowledge into practice. This means giving people easy-to-use tools like VPNs and password managers, and this is key, actually training them on how to use them. It also means making it incredibly simple to get help from IT the second something feels weird. The whole point is to make the secure way of doing things the easiest way of doing things. And when you put it all together, the culture, the training, the tools, the support, that's when the transformation happens. Your employee is no longer the weakest link or a target. They become a human firewall. They are your best, most important security asset.
So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. By truly investing in your people, you're not just fixing a problem. You're building a stronger, more resilient organization from the inside out. You are literally turning your biggest vulnerability into your greatest strength.